Hello everyone. Welcome to today's webinar presented by LexNet 701. My name is Christy Bookman and I will be presenting the webinar today on behalf of the entire team at LexNet 701. Today's topic is Lifelong Donors Begin with Younger Alumni. As always, your phones are muted during the presentation so that you can relax and enjoy and not have to worry about your phones ringing. However, if you have questions, we definitely want to hear from you, and we welcome you to ask those questions using the GoToWebinar toolbar on the right hand of your screen. We're going to try just a little bit shorter format today, so please let us know what you think about that. Today's presentation will be somewhere around 20 minutes. We know that your time is extremely valuable, so we're going to go ahead and get started. When your university's graduates walk across that stage, they have a bright future ahead of them. Their thoughts are of finding a job or starting their new career in a job that they've already found. They may have found the person they want to share their life with and they're thinking about that, or they may be looking to relocate, find a new home. Many, as they walk across the stage, are thinking about repaying their student loans. So how do you get these graduates that are full of excitement and have a great feeling about the university? How do you keep them engaged with you to give back through their donations? And that's what we're going to talk about today. At LexNet 701, we believe that there are 3 keys to engage recent graduates, encourage early giving, all while fostering relationships which create lifelong donors. Those 3 keys are data appends, segmentation, and the utilization of multiple marketing channels. So those are the 3 main topics that we're going to talk about briefly this afternoon, or this morning, depending on where you're located. So let's start with data appends. You have data, lots and lots of data. You have thousands of records for each and every individual graduate of your university. You have their address, their email address, their phone number. Wait, you don't have their phone number? Okay. Well, you have their address, right? Oh. Well, it's the one that you think they used when they took their ACT their junior year in high school, and it might actually be their parents' address. They're surely not still there. You know, if that's what information or what data you have, I don't blame you for not wanting to spend the money to mail to those records and risk those bad addresses. Your pieces may be returned, and worse yet, they may be thrown away by the post office. So what can be done? Data appending services, such as the services offered by LexNet 701, allow you to enhance the data that you already have in your database to make it the most accurate data that it can be. LexNet 701 works with Experian, the industry leader in offering innovative tools to verify, correct, and standardize addresses in order to allow you to mail more effectively, more accurately, and more economically. Now, all addresses, including those that are corrected, are appended with zip+4 codes, carrier route codes, and they're all delivery point verified to make sure that we reduce undeliverable mail, lower your postage expenses by achieving the maximum possible discounts, increase your response rates, and improve overall mail delivery. So in order to do that, multiple layers of resolution technologies are employed, and that's just a part of the process. There are some amazing statistics. It's estimated that more than 50 million Americans, or about 18% of the population, move each year. That's a phenomenal number. And no doubt your recent graduates are a part of those movers. Our change of address products contain accurate address information on more than 225 million individuals, households, and businesses with address histories extending from 1 to 60 months. And through mail delivery studies, just some more little bits of information, it's been estimated that 25% of the people who move each year do not actually file an official USPS change of address form. Our Experian database allows us to access more than 60 million address change that were reported to sources other than the USPS. Just provides you an additional means for you to stay in touch with consumers who have moved, with those students who recently graduated and no longer live in the house that they did when they were juniors in high school. Now, the data append and cleansing tools that we use are licensed by the USPS to help improve mail deliverability and expand your response rates. We work with only the best tools and only the best providers to identify more valid change of addresses, not just these little USPS change of address forms, but the alternate sources that we discussed on the last slide. Now, in addition to having old addresses, many databases, and perhaps yours, contain records that are undeliverable due to mail that was sent to apartments and condominium addresses that are lacking that secondary address information that's so critical for delivery. Our data append processes match the address against a database of more than 10 million proprietary records containing that secondary address information. And you may also have some records that still refer to a rural route address. Our data append tools convert those rural route addresses to 911 locatable street-style addresses. To fully maximize deliverability, reduce your mailing costs, and increase your success rates, we provide you with a report that illustrates and indexes the deliverability of records within your database. This then gives you the ability to determine which records mail and which are suppressed from the mailing file based on the deliverability index value assigned to each individual mailing record. You determine the threshold of the quality of the address that you want to mail, and there's no reason to mail others that can't be verified, saving you time and money. Now, not only can your data be important in terms of the quality of your data, but individual elements of each data record can be extremely important as well. Bits of information that you have about your graduates can be vital in crafting a message that will capture the attention of your recipients and ultimately cause them to act, whether you're looking to obtain additional information from them or wanting them to contribute to your cause. Data elements can be simple, like whether the graduate was male or female. The data can tell you what activities and organizations the student was involved with on campus, like the marching band or sorority. Your data can tell you what degree your graduate received and whether or not they are continuing their education with additional degrees or continuing education credits. Here are just a few of the many elements of data that you may have in your database. This data can help you connect with your recipient. What have they given in the past? What's their giving history? What was their major? Were they a 2-year, 4-year, or postgraduate student? What's their current address? And that goes back to the data append services that if you don't know their current address, we can help you find. What events and activities did they attend while they were on campus or in the community, and what are their interests? Remember, if this data is not available in your database, you can work to add these and other data elements that you find important to the effectiveness of your campaign. If you don't know, you can always ask. Poll or survey those people in your database and gain the information that you're lacking. Now, this data is all great, but what's the purpose of using it? Well, the purpose of segmenting your marketing messages is to make your message relevant to each recipient. Segmenting based on characteristics of your database is an effective way to capture the attention of your recipients, whether you're communicating through email or mail. And I know we all know that segmentation is important, but are we all utilizing it, and are we utilizing it effectively? Do you test your segmentation? Do you know what's working and what's not? Segmenting for the purposes of segmenting just because you know you're supposed to do it isn't enough. It needs to make the message relevant, and you're going to know if that's the case if it's causing the action that you desire. Here's an example of an email that utilizes segmentation, and it's a very simple form of segmentation. We've included the name of the recipient, which conference they attended that we met them at, and where that conference was located. In addition, the email is signed by the person that actually met Nancy at the Case District Conference in Denver. Even though the message is from the entire team, calling out the person that Nancy met face-to-face may cause a relevant connection. Here's another example utilizing a mailing piece. This piece was sent to alums of a particular university, and the piece highlighted their graduation year as a part of the piece. Very simple, very subtle, but it can connect with the recipient. In addition, a personalized URL was utilized, giving another personal way to incorporate this segmentation. Once the user lands on their personalized landing page, it too can be customized for the recipient. And another subtle way of utilizing segmentation is to vary some of the images used on the piece, whether it be an email or a mailed piece. This particular photograph changed depending on the decade of graduation. This was the photo for the 1980s. Utilizing images, calling attention to the recipient's name or names, and using text that is relevant to the recipient are all easy and effective ways to use segmentation to increase your response rates and boost your ROI. And when you utilize digital print solutions, the additional revenue and engagement far exceeds the additional cost. Segmentation of your marketing message is important for increasing your response rates. Another very important but sometimes overlooked way to increase your response rates is to utilize multiple channels. For example, did you know that 18% of young people between the ages of 22 and 24 say that they will respond to marketing communications received via direct mail? And that statement was, they will respond. Wouldn't you love to have an 18% response rate from recent graduates? 18% of them make a contribution of some way to your annual fund. Young adults really don't receive that much mail other than bills, and receiving a personalized message in the mailbox is exciting. It makes them feel important. Other channels such as email, direct mail with a QR code or personalized URL, and social marketing can all be effective tools when used in a segmented and personalized way. Now, here are just a few questions that you should ask yourself when you're considering multiple channels, and what channels should be used for your audience. First, of course, is who is my audience? Who am I talking to? Am I mailing to an entire database or a smaller segment within my database? Which channel should be used for each segment? Multi-channel marketing and today's personalized relevant marketing isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Sometimes we need to break our message up into multiple channels for multiple segments within our entire database. Should a multi-touch, multi-channel campaign be incorporated? Should I contact my recipients through various channels over time? How do my recipients prefer to communicate with me? That's a great question and one that you need to answer. And in fact, consider finding out this information even before your students graduate. Philanthropic education is becoming an important part of a student's experience at many colleges and universities. Colleges and universities are working to introduce students to the benefits that they receive as a student because of the generosity of others while they're still on campus. While you're teaching them about philanthropy, ask them how they would like to be communicated with so that when you connect with them after they've walked across that stage, you're doing it in a way that they're looking forward to and a way in which they've suggested to you. Is mobile an important part of our marketing mix? Mobile devices, including tablets and cell phones, smartphones, are becoming more and more popular, especially with younger graduates. Is mobile a part of your marketing mix? How accurate is your data? Really makes a difference on which channels can be utilized, how accurate the data is. Is mailing an option, or do we need to run our data through a data append process first? Questions that need to be asked. What's our social marketing strategy? And how does this campaign fit into our overall marketing strategy? And do we have a reputable marketing partner to help us execute through these multiple channels? Maybe you're capable of doing that internally. Maybe you need a marketing partner to help you execute across multiple channels, maintaining your branding and maintaining your consistent message. There are lots of marketing channels in the industry today, and they're all being used by colleges and universities and fundraising organizations. Some are doing it really well, and some are struggling. They're using blogs and mobile apps. They're using smartphone technologies. They're using social channels and surveys and personalized landing pages and direct mail. Which of those channels you use and which are right for your particular campaign really depend a lot on the answers to the questions that we've just discussed. By utilizing these three keys, you can engage your audience, encourage early giving, and foster lifelong relationships with your donors. Appending your data so that it's correct, segmenting appropriately, and utilizing multiple channels are all easy ways to do that. To receive more information about these three keys, I encourage you to contact us at LexNet 701. Our phone number is 800-767-1735. And additional free information can be found at the LexNet 701 Resource Center, and that address is across the bottom of your screen, www.lexnet701.com/resource center. We hope that you've enjoyed today's presentation, Lifelong Donors Begin with Younger Alumni. Please ask any questions that you may have of us, and we will be sure to answer them. If you'd like to contact us after the presentation, that's just fine too, and let us know what you think about this shortened format. We do host these webinars on the second Tuesday of each and every month. Then on Tuesday, September 11th, our next presentation will be on, do we really need to send holiday cards? Definitely a topic for discussion. All right. Well, that concludes today's presentation. If you'd like to share this information with anyone, it will be available on lexnet701.com within the next hour. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great afternoon.